Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. In this video, we are looking at the Chambers of Xeric normal full layout guide for noobs. This is your CMs at home or CMs from Wish guide that will help you basically become a better raider and become a more confident player in Oldschool Runescape. This is excellent for learners, first-time players, people trying to get their no preps or their CM layouts down. This is excellent. You should get around 53,000 points by the end of the raid if you follow this guide to a T and don't die. I will be involving prep in this guide, however I normally no prep, and I'll explain the difference of items in my inventory as we go through. First of all, yes, the elephant in the room, I don't have mole slippers. I'm dry on the collection log, 4 clues, no slippers. I can't be fucked hunting them. Get over it. Now, you're going to see things like Prims, Ferocious Gloves, Zenite. You're going to probably already be commenting, this guy's using too much gear. Shut the fuck up. Downgrade the gear. I don't want to hear comments about people complaining about gear when it's simple. If you don't have Zenite, run a fucking Fury. If you don't have Primordials or Ferocious, run Barrows and Dragon Boots. I know you don't have an Inferno Cape, that's why you're here. Run your fucking Fire Cape. An Abyssal Whip is perfect for this raid. I do the Dragon Hunter Lance. I don't want to spend fucking 20 minutes in Ulm. So that's what we're doing with this raid here. If you don't have the gear I have, downgrade it. Same over in the inventory. Have a look at this shit. You don't have a Sang Staff? Run the Trident. Sang Staff is excellent, by the way. If you have a Shadow, I still recommend learning solo on with the Sang Staff just to get the momentum down because it's very forgiving. For range, if you don't have a Bofa, sit the fuck down. Use a Rune Crossbow, Ruby Bolts, and bring Diamond Bolts Switch 2 for some rooms. That's perfect. It's not a problem. However, keep in mind, if you are running a Bofa and you don't want to bring this many switches, drop all the capes and run your Fire Cape. Only run the Dragon Boots and the Barrows Gloves. Don't bring the Glove Switch. Don't bring the next switch, just run a Fury. You can do things like that. It's not a problem. Over with the special items down here, we've got Dragon Pickaxe. Crystal Pickaxe is the exact same, but it's just lighter in weight. Rune Pickaxe, that's fine. If you don't have an Elder Maul, run a Dragon Warhammer. You do not need the Din's Bulwark, but I love it. I think it's excellent in this raid for a perfect strategy. Or you can run the, you can also bring a Zamorak Godsword. I don't have one. That's totally fine too, but those are not necessary items. Same for the Fang, but the Fang does help a lot in the Vassal room and Vanguards. You've got Dragon Claws, which if you've got Burning Claws or no other spec weapon, that's not a problem either. And then you've got this Salve Amulet EI. Now, I would normally Venge at the start of the raid, but I can't be fuck swapping my spellbook. So we're just going to run Throws the whole way through. You should be running our spellbook anyway when learning. Come to the board, click map layout full, and go. We're going to keep this raid short and sweet. Nobody else does guides like me in this game, so I fully understand why you're here. Hit the like and subscribe button down below. I appreciate the support. Now, number one thing we're going to do, number one bullshit, is go with a Divine Super Combat Stamina Potion, and if you can afford it, Antidote Plus. Now, if you don't have Antidote Plus, that's fine. Just bring a anti-poison in the raid with you, because what you're going to do is do Tecton, Crabs, Ice Demon, Shamans, where you'll get poisoned. Then we prep in this room here, ready for the rest of the raid. This room is where you prep. Everything else is sweet. You'll only need 78 herb lore for this. So we're going to pretty much just have a sippy real quick, grab some hard food to recover the loss there. Anglerfish, so actually, because I'm not venging, Anglerfish isn't actually necessary if you don't want to. I would just bring 3 base dog shit hard food items because you're going to pick 3 pots up in Tecton. So if you don't take damage, you can just drop it. Now, how do you do Tecton? Good question. I didn't just fuck up Tecton and immediately reset the raid to make it look like nothing happened. You shut up. I don't know what you're talking about. So all you have to do is walk into the room near Tecton and he will come off the anvil. He will then walk over to where you are. So you want to run to the back of the room. Tecton attacks every 3 game ticks. You'll see an animation of him swinging, then he'll do damage. Swing, damage. That's all it's going to be. So you want to move out of the way as he's swinging so the damage doesn't hit you. However, when he turns towards you, the first swing is a 0 damage hit. So it's every 3 game ticks that he damages you, except when he turns, he delays an attack. It's 6 ticks, then 3, 3, 3. Hope that makes sense. It's way easier to understand. If you want to practice this boss, easily just come in with your fist. He's always at the start of the CM layout. And just practice until you can get like a 0 damage rotation. You can tank a hit at the start with Venge. We won't be this time around. So we're going to come up the back of the room now that he's come off. The Elder Maul and Dragon Warhammer always guarantee a hit at the start. As he goes to damage you, you just turn. Like that, boom. I can do a second hit, but I'm just going to show you exactly how it works. So you see how he turns, he hits and nothing. And then the second one, that second swing is where the damage is. As long as you move out of the way for that second swing, that's all that matters, okay? That's the damaging hit there. Then he walks back. We're going to just dump an Elder Maul spec here anyway because fuck you. There we go. Beautiful. And then you want to just keep moving out of the way. He'll heal on the anvil, and you just want to keep moving 2 tiles to avoid the meteors. I hope that makes sense. It's a confusing, but it's simple once you understand the boss. You just want to keep moving anti-clockwise around the boss. As he goes to start the swing animation, that's where the damage comes from. So you just want to go hit 1 swing. That's a damaging hit. You just move out the way. You don't understand it or you're not sure how to do it properly, just keep practicing. That's all you gotta do. Just move out of the way as he goes to swing. Drop your hard food. You don't need to pick up 1 overload. Revite, and Prayer Enhanced. Then we move on to the crab room. Now the crab room requires a hammer. There's one on the floor or an Elder Maul / Dragon Maul hammer. Either one works. There's always a hammer at the start. There are two different layouts. They both work the same. Basically, the ball will bounce off the crabs in a clockwise direction. Is that right? Yes. So basically the ball will bounce, bounce, bounce like that in a fucking square. So it's a light puzzle room. It's simple. I don't have tile markers in this room. I do not recommend tile markers in this room. If I do tile markers, okay, if I say tile marker here, here, and here, and then someone else comes in with different tile markers in a group raid and they're doing different squares, all you're going to do is be like, I don't understand, because you're retarded. Don't tile mark it. Understand the room. I got you covered, boys. All right, there you go. Unmark that shit. First of all, okay, blue, cyan, all right, that's red, okay? Just remember that, all right? Blue is red. Stun that cunt there, all right? And black is white, okay? Let's keep it simple. So, first things first, you're going to come over here and bounce the ball. Thank you, Mr. Krabs. Okay, bounce the ball off this crab while he's red. Red goes to blue. We like that. Very big. And then we're going to come up here and we're going to start stunning some crabs in positions ready for the rest of the crystals, all right? Because you want to line up that juicy yellow crystal with a mage attack, all right? Come down here. See if we hit these with magic, it's going to bounce and go blue. Blue goes to yellow because that makes the color green. Yeah, I know. Wow. Now you come down to the pink. Pink is ranged, okay? I will explain exactly how to remember this best in a minute. Once the pink one bounces off there, I like to stun this crab here so I can walk away, but it's not necessary because you don't want him to be red because white goes to black. You just want to basically have that crab standing still and get yourself ready. How did I figure that out? Here's a simple color code. If you remember that white and black go together, okay? Like people, you know? Anti-racial, mix that shit up. Then you got red and blue going together because that makes purple, all right? There's no significance there, just remember that melee is blue. Then you've just got the yellow crystal and the purple crystal, okay? And if you range, they turn like a yellowy green, all right? So range is yellow, just for argument's sake. Yellow can't go with yellow because you can't match the color crystals, can they? So if the yellow can't be yellow, then mage must be yellow. Does that make fucking sense? Hope that does make sense. Now we're going to move to the scav room. Okay, this is where you want to scav when you're prepping. Grab some planks from the scav. Grab some resources. You're going to want stinkor mushrooms and darkened juice and Sicily. Okay, they always drop together. It's no problem. I'm not going to because I'll be prepping out of the ice demon room. If you're confident enough to do solo CoX deathless with prep, you don't need to prep at the scav room. The ice demon should give you enough resources. Now, when you're doing the ice demon room, all you're going to need to do is cut some kindling. All right, you only need 2 lots of kindling in 2 different braziers to pop the ice demon, but I like to milk the points here. So we're going to cut 6.5, well, I like to just do 7 lots of kindling. 6.5 will max out your points, giving you a better purple chance. So what we're going to do for the first stack is light the kindling with the little ice fiend, and then we're going to put 5 stacks on the floor with a 6th in our inventory. All right, we're up to our last stack now for the ice demon. It takes a couple of minutes, but it's definitely worth the points doing this. So what we're going to do now is drink an overload. I've only got a minute and a half left on my anti-poison because I've been like standing around explaining shit. So it probably would have been wise to bring an anti-poison in with me, but like I said, you can make an anti-poison in the room after the shamans if you need to. Hopefully we don't need to, but if you do, you just need to pick up some Noxifer seeds. It's not the end of the world. Just make sure you have some sort of way to heal yourself at the time. So now that we've got our 1 stack in our inventory, our 5 stacks on the floor, we've already done 1 stack as well. Keep putting these stacks into 2 different braziers like that. You can do more braziers if you want, but you'll see you get 1,000 points every time you put a stack in the bin, which is huge. Summon your Thrall. You want to pray range against the ice demon because if you pray range, he will range you, which is good because his mage attack will freeze you in place and fuck you. You want to be able to move. So just pray range and he'll range. If you pray mage, he'll mage you. If you don't pray, he'll just do whatever and it's just not fun. Always hurts too, so just be careful. He attacks every 3 game ticks, 2 Elder Mauls, and then just start hitting him with the fucking Bofa, dude. That's all. Just move every time he attacks. The damage only hits you once the projectile hits you, so you can move out of the way at the last second if you need to. Because it's normal scale, like it's super easy to just get through this. Anti-poison's about to wear off, so we will be getting poisoned in the next room, which means I can show you how to make an anti-poison. How cute is that? Now, for those that did prep the scav room, in the scav room, that's good. You can just move on to the shaman room. But for those that did not prep, and for us, for example, we will be taking the drops on the ice demon to prep what we need to. All right, your boy's down. Grab the resources here. Now for shamans. Shamans it's fucking shamans, just like your slayer task. There's no difference. You can use certain spots in this room to safe spot them. For example, if they're hugging right where that shaman is, that's a fucking safe spot. Go! Go! Go, you good cunt! Yep, fucking stay there. If he's right there, boom. Look at that, that's safe spotted. No poison, no worries. Now, he'll just stand there and just take it up the ass. If you've got a crossbow, you might have to long range, however. For the other safe spot, you can just stand like pretty much where I am and get them to jump here, then stand over here at the entrance. You can do it from this spot here and stand down here, or you can reverse it. So we'll see how we go with this shaman. If we're lucky, he won't poison us, Grab some Buchu seeds while we're here, and Nox, I guess. Stand here, he may jump on us. He may not. Please don't poison. And he's poisoned us. Okay, there we go. Good thing we got the Noxifer. Now, we're not going to make him safe spot. We're not going to make him jump because it will slow the room down. I know it's not like a super efficient raid, but it is cringe having to wait for them to fucking land. Now, entering the prep room. One critiquing thing I had from players when I first released my CoX guide years ago was I didn't show them where to get a spade. They were like, where do you get a spade? You didn't show it. Okay, so for the retards that don't have fucking eyes, if you look on the wall, there's tools. Alright, it's fucking 1 plus 2 is 3 if you didn't know that one. Deposit everything you can and pick a bunch of gourds. Normally I wouldn't do this, but because I poison myself, I'm just going to go ahead and go nuts. Right click, pick lots of gourds, and then fill them on the gazer like that, alright? You don't need too many potions, I'll be honest with you, if you know what you're doing with the prep. Like, I probably didn't need to deposit as much as I did. We'll just leave like 6 on the floor. We don't even need this much, to be honest. I'm just going to grab the spade out, the Sicily, the juice, and the mushrooms. And we will take 1 Nox. The Nox is purely for the anti-poison. Okay? I wouldn't typically have to do it, but because of me having to stand still and explain shit, that's what happens. So then you can right-click, clear the patch, and put new seeds down. It's no worries. If you're in a mass, you can just right-click, clear patches for memes to troll counts. Now, not necessary, but 1 Buchu. Make 1 prayer enhance, drop the Sicily. That's all the Sicily is for. Now you want to make, I think 4 prayer enhance, 4 super restores is more than enough. You won't even need that many. But if you get 4 stinkhorn mushrooms, pink potions, that's all you're going to need in this raid. If you need any more than that, then that's a good thing you've prepped it. But if you're confident with your Chambers of Xeric skills, you should be hitting the mark already. So we're good in that department. Let's just take some stuff out here, get ready for the next room. Now we're going to go pick 7 herbs here for the brews. And make 7 brews. Now, that's just because you get 7 juice from the demon. You don't even need that many, but again, with people learning and trying their confidence out, this is how it works, okay? It's very simple. You don't need to make overloads because you got an overload from Tecton, and you'll get more overloads throughout the raid. So, got our 7 herbs, our 7 juice, and then we'll just drop whatever gourds we've got too many of. And now we can fix my mistake of throwing my shit in the bin too early. Alright, there we go. Fixed my inventory, drink the overload and the prayer enhance, and now we're going to do some vanguards. So the way vanguards work is very simple. You have to keep their health within 1/3 of each other, otherwise the whole room resets, they get full health again. The one with the tentacles in the air is a meleeer, and it's combat triangle. If he melees, you mage him, okay? Because mage is strong against melee gear. Does that make sense? So this one's the major. He will mage, which means you range him, okay? Because ranging people, that mage is best in slot. And you want to be careful not to do any more damage than that. This is very delicate in this raid scale. So we're going to go over here and give this guy the fucking clamp. So one with the rocks, he ranges and you melee him. Just, okay? They're already rotating. Beautiful. We're going to give him another fucking hit with the clamps real quick. Beautiful. Good thing the Dragon Claws are horse shit. And boom. Now we're going to go over here and hit the melee with the mage again. You just want to keep their health within the bars on this health bar. I don't know if this is a rune like plugin or not. I don't think it's a rune like plugin for the HP bars, but it's definitely like useful because like if you do too much damage like that, oh that's close. Thrall, stop, Mr. Thrall. Don't do it. I just need to hit another Vanguard to stop the Thrall from fucking pushing you over the line because he will. Fucking hell. You just do so much damage. Like you don't even need offensive praise. You don't even need an overload in this room, especially if you start running T-Bow, Shadow, and Scythe because you'll just fucking. You'll just delete them way too fast. We're going to go over and hit that fucking melee now. Good luck. Or the ranger. I always call them what I'm hitting them with, not like what they hit you with. It's kind of weird. The vanguards are just coded retardedly, and Jagex, instead of fixing it, just goes, she'll be right. So if the vanguard just starts hitting you randomly for like no reason, or sometimes aggro's on you, but in a different layout it doesn't, it's been designed by a fucking 4-year-old with like a red cordial fetish. So just do what you can. And try not to die or reset them at the same time. If you die, you just come back downstairs. It's no big deal. Now we're in the thieving room. Thieving's very simple. Just fucking pick the chest until you get 28 worms. If you want to milk points, drop 28 worms next to the trough and go get another 28 and dump them both at the same time. The yellow chests are potential poison chests. If you get poisoned by a chest or poison damage, there'll be 3 other chests. One of them has bats. Bats are good food. Grab the bats when you can. There's not much more to explain in this room. There you go. Poison. So one of these 3 chests have bats. And if you get the bat chest, that's good. It's free food and free points. And there we go, 28. Now, there's 20 seconds left on the overload. We're going to let that run out because it's just easier for the vestibular room, and that gives me time to mildly explain how that room works. Just pick up your grubs, dump them both to get maximum points. That's like 5k points there. It's easy. You're not going to need a huge amount of items in this room, but I just keep it all on me anyway, just for ease of transportation. So the way vestibular works is these little 4 pockets will have little grubs. The one grub that's by itself, you got the 3 there. The one grub that's by itself, if you stand next to his head away from the portal, that is the safe spot, the tile you always sit on. It doesn't matter what the layout is, as long as it's the portal next to the grub's head, the spot next to the grub's head away from the portal, that's always a safe tile. And you basically want to hit the portal, then run back. Hit portal, run back, hit portal, run back. And you want to be using Redemption Prayer at the same time. That's the best way to kind of mitigate damage and navigate yourself through the room. We're going to eat 1 bat and a brew there just to give us a bit more oomph with our HP potential. You're going to pray Redemption and Rigor the whole time. You can stamina for this room, but since the run energy changes, you don't really need to. You just don't want to be standing still under the portal. You want to just hit it and run back, okay, to this tile. Hit, run back. See how I'm standing next to the worm's head? That's the safe tile. And if you do this, you'll never get damaged and you'll never take more than 8 damage. Sorry, never get poisoned and you'll never take more than 8 damage each time. You can do this a lot faster, of course, but I'm just kind of doing it slowly to explain how that works. As soon as you see the XP drop or you guy attacks, you just run straight back. That's the timing. Then you wait. Prayer Enhance will restore your prayer. Redemption, Rigor, run back. And if it doesn't work, you can use like your quick prayers too if you want. But it's just a matter of doing this until you finish the room. Now, this was the bottleneck in CMs with Bofas. It was possible, but it was fucking tedious. Like, RNG would fist you so many fucking times, it just wasn't worth it. You step out, 0 damage still. But we're doing a lot of damage to the point that it doesn't matter. He hasn't even attacked one of the worms yet. Vespula will hit the worms, and they'll slowly lose health based on how long you take to do this room. If you keep hitting the portal, they won't lose health. But if you don't hit the portal, he will eventually start doing damage to the worms, and if they die, they will spawn a lot of Vespulas, and the raid's just fucking over from there. Have to reset. So you kind of just want to not take your time. If you fall under 10 HP at any point in this room, just eat a bat or drink a potion and you'll be fine. Next is the tightrope room. Now, tightrope is very simple, but I'm going to do a tightrope skip because I think it is fucking awesome. It's only like 2k points that you miss out on, so you'll get like 51k instead of 53k. But I just enjoy it. I think it's fun. For tightrope, there are 2 ways to do it. I'll explain both, but I'll show you how the big dog does it. All you got to do is make sure you bring your Dinny Bee, and it does help to bring 1 P-neck. It's not the end of the world if you don't, but it's fucking handy. So we'll go over here, we'll save these bats and get them ready. To do the room normally, you have to kill all 4 of these targets. They will hit fucking hard too, so make sure you pray Mage for the mages and Range for the rangers. And you just range them, right? 1 at a time, kill them, cross the tightrope, pick up the keystone, dispel the barrier, done. If you're looking for speedier times or a bit of spice in your life, you can tightrope skip. With this layout, with normal CoX layouts, it's a foolproof system. 100% guaranteed to put on the bulwark, have as much health as you can, max health is fine, pray range and augury and just cross the tightrope and tank the fucking hits like a big dog. Look at that. Make sure you get P-neck on just for extra security. Get to the other side. If you're low health, that's not really low health, so we're good. Pick it up, bat, brew combo, and then cross again. We still have the P-neck on. You can bat, brew like twice if you want to. It's not the end of the world, and we should have 22 health there. P-neck pops, and we bat, brew again. We have 78 health. And you're fine. As long as you bat brew at least once on either side, it's no big deal. It uses the P-neck. Sometimes it doesn't use the P-neck at all because you tank that much damage. Make sure your Din Bulwark is on block. You're a fucking G in that room. Now we come to the final floor before Olm. We want to make sure we have Overload and Enhance. I recommend 2 Revites. Bring another P-neck, Slave Amulet, Dragon Claws or whatever if you've got them, your pickaxe. And then you should have around about 4 brews to spare. If you've got less switches, you'll have more brews. We still have a bat as well, which is big. Put on your pickaxe because it's time for Guardians of the Radiator. Okay, Guardians are very simple. Pray party and pray melee if you want, and just attack and step out 2 tiles, walk in 1. This preserves run energy while doing an attack every 5 game ticks, okay? Make sure your pickaxe is on smash. You can pickaxe spec if you want, but I'd rather say specs for Vasa. You just attack and step out immediately because if you stand there, they'll just start cutting you up. And you don't want to get cut up by these guys. They do damage, okay? Hit him, run out 2, step in 1. That way, you can run out 2 if you want and then run into like this and bounce off him. 1000 ping for no reason, thank you. But you don't want to do that because you'll run out of run energy very quickly. So thank you for the ping, appreciate that. We're going to overload while we wait for the ping to calm the fuck down. Do the same for the other Guardian and you're good to go. Now for Vasa, make sure you are overloaded and enhanced. If you're close to losing overload, re-overload now. Next, this is where the P-neck comes in. This is the clutch play. Put on your range gear. If your inventory is full, just drop a fucking potion, drop your prayer enhance. Put on your Bofa, put on the P-neck, and get ready. You can summon your Mage Trial. The other 2 thralls don't damage the crystals, so use Mage Trial. Now you're going to take damage here, and as soon as you take the damage, eat the bat and put your other necklace back on. That should put you at about 57 health, because that's the P-neck healing you, and then the bat healing you without delaying attacks. and you're not brewing as well to ruin your overload, which is, I mean, if you're speed running, it matters. If you're not speed running, it's not a big deal, but it is a good strategy and a healthy one to like get used to doing inside the Vassar. And Dragon Claws or Burning Claw specs are great on these crystals. And you want to use the Fang on the crystal if you bought the Fang, because the Fang is just, it's the best weapon to use on the crystals. It's fucking excellent because of the minimum hit guarantee. And then you just range this boss as he goes to the crystals. If he's on the crystals too long, he will heal. So you want to get rid of the crystals as soon as you can. Once he heals from the crystals, he will go to the middle, teleport you again, and do another big magical attack. That's all you got to do to kind of cope with it. The P-neck and the back combo when you're putting your other necklace on mitigates the need to like, well, the risk of getting one hit, because he can just do the big mage attack, then just walk on you with a range attack and just absolutely fucking stomp your head. And he's dead. Beautiful. He will drop 1 overload and 2 bruise. Now we go to Mystics. Now, full disclosure, I left my prayer enhance in the other room because I am a retard, but that's fine. Mystics, basically they will mage you unless you are in their line of sight. Now, you can do 2 options here. Look at him so that he walks over to you, or you can hide in this little nook here, and he will walk down over to you, and you just stand in this tile. If he starts maging you, just stand over here, and he will stop maging you eventually. It might take a few attacks. They're coded fucking poorly. It's just Jagex coding 101. But Mystics, if you get them, if you stand in the line of sight to get them to melee you, and then you corner safe spot them, they'll just stand there like fucking lemons and take it up the ass. It's beautiful. Okay, these guys are both going to hit you. If multiple Mystics are hitting you, don't sit there tanking it. Go around, get them to melee you like that. Come over and grab this guy's attention too. They shouldn't start maging you again unless you hit them. But then there's a chance to trigger that. I guess, maybe not. Who knows? Spaghetti code. Get in his face again, and we're good. Now, you take a lot of damage from melee hits, so just be careful. But you want to stand on a corner like this. There's a corner over there that does it as well. If the corner doesn't work and they walk around and hit you, it's not a valid corner to safe spot. Try a different one. Learn the corners. This is a valid one. There's a valid one there. Use those corners to safe spot them, and you should be fine. It's not a big problem, because they think they're going to be able to melee you, so they'll just stand there. Very simple with the Salve Amulet, and then we move on to the big Mutterdal room, the one room we need to do before Ulm. Alright, Mutterdal room. Put on your tank gear and the Bulwark. If you didn't bring the Bulwark, you can just run your Sangstaff for free heals. Walk in, grab the axe on the floor. If you have the ZGS, you don't need to cut the tree. I think cutting the tree is good because it's good points. I don't have a ZGS as well, or freezes if you bought Ancients. But because we don't have that, we have to cut the tree. So you cut the tree, as soon as you see an XP drop, either drink a potion or click the Mutterdal and start fucking chopping again, okay? It's basically like a foolproof no tick loss method. Sometimes, not always, apparently. The best way to go about this room is if the baby Mutterdal is in melee range, pray melee and hope you don't get ranged. If he's not in melee range, pray range until he comes to melee range. In CMs, this room will fuck you in a solo. But like, doing this room, cutting the tree while baby Mutterdal tri-bridge you, it's equivalent to doing the fucking Inferno. It's a horrible experience. But luckily in this raid, in normal scale, it's just watered down to the point that it doesn't matter. There's a range attack, but because we've got the ball up, we take no damage. Now we're just going to mage him. I like to mage him here because Sangstaff can heal and he has no mage level, so you can really just fucking give it to him. And he drops 1 prayer enhance and 1 overload, which is good for us because we don't have our prayer enhance anymore. I forgot it. You just want to maintain melee range at all times with this little cunt. Get the prayer enhance. Get to this corner here quickly. Beautiful. Now this corner kind of slows down her ability to melee you. It's not a complete safe spot, but it's good enough to the point that if you stand here, there's a good chance she doesn't come around and give you a quick nom. Now, after 3 attacks of 1 attack style, she has a chance to change attack styles. That's 3 mage attacks. She might go range. There you go. So she doesn't always change, but it will only change after 3 hits. Once she's dead, which is a very simple process, pick up all of her potions by dropping your overload and prayer enhance, and you're ready for Ulm. Now, I have a guide on how to do Ulm, but I've been requested to redo the guide, so we'll loosely redo the guide here now, and I'll explain exactly what's going on. We'll probably have to reset this overload that we've currently got active. I've got tile markers down in the Ulm room. I don't normally use tile markers, but I have put them down just for teaching purposes, and I will put the tile markers for Ulm in the description down below. I'm going to keep it nice and simple because I do have another Ulm guide you can use to further refine your skills here. But basically, there's 2 methods, okay? You've got Mage, 3 and 0, and you've got Melee, 4 and 1. All that means is 3 and 0 is you attacking Ulm 3 times per rotation, and he attacks you 0 times. The 4 and 1 is you attacking Ulm 4 times per rotation, and he attacks you once. And the rotation is you going left to right. Now, Ulm will look at you in the room depending on where you are standing. The outside tiles are the barriers for where he must turn his head in that direction, because if he's looking in the middle, he won't be able to see you, okay? If he's looking in the middle and you're standing on the outside barriers or further out, he won't be able to damage you. He'll have to turn that direction. And that's how you force his head to turn. Now, the Thrall is going to help force his head to turn as well, because if you're standing anywhere from the left middle side onwards and damage his left hand, he will turn left anyway. If you're standing anywhere from the right middle tile onwards and damage his right hand, he will turn right. So just keep that in mind. Now, when I say right, I mean what you're facing, not his, because his left claw is on his left, but it's your right. So when we say right, we're talking about your right, not Olm's right. The right hand is the one you melee, the left hand is the one you mage. It's not just about knowing how to do it perfectly, it's also about knowing how to correct your mistakes. And that's the big thing here. So we will re-overload and re-prayer enhance and drink some sippy Xeric aids. Now, if this is your first time as well doing Olm solo, I recommend banking all your shit, going in with a full inventory of brews, maybe like 6 restores, 1 overload, and 1 prayer enhance if you have spare overload, and suiciding pots on the floor because you'll lose less points and you'll be able to then pick those potions up and go for a more clean, consistent Olm kill. So we will walk in and immediately drop a potion for Space Throw Eldermaw, and if he spawns on this side, okay, he did not spawn there, we go straight to maging. You want to summon your mage Thrall, and we're going to get into cycle of the 3 and 0. So to get into the cycle, you want to stand on the far tile here, and as Olm turns his head, it's all about learning the timing. It's a 4-tick cycle. You want to make sure your staff is on accurate, and you want to just attack, and click at the same time. Okay? That's all you're doing. You're timing it based off of when Olm turns his head. So as Olm looks, you are attacking and running. Once you're in cycle, it's a consistent 4 game ticks you're attacking, so it becomes way more like rhythmic. But the principle basically is just attack as he turns, you attack. He turns, you attack. He turns, you attack. Like that. See, every time he's turning his head, no matter what the direction is, I am raising my staff and attacking. Now, this rule is a golden rule to follow, but it's just about learning that timing, which is why I recommend learning in groups first, so you can kind of understand Olm's movement. Now, while this is happening as well, you can dump a cheeky Eldermaw on the melee hand, like so, which is good to get your spec back nice and early, especially if you don't have a light bearer. And then miss because the game's dog shit. We'll go again. And miss again because the game's dog shit. Beautiful. Love that game. Love this raid. Yep. Back to damaging this hand. And we'll be fine. Now, if you want to get back in cycle, just stand over here. Wait for him to turn his head. And you want to attack at the same time. It's all about learning that timing to run as he's turning his head. Click and click the floor at the same time that you attack. And you're good. Now, because we didn't hit the Eldermaw, this is fun. Summon the melee throw. And we want to just kind of attack this hand and figure out where we're at. Okay. If you see a special attack, then we're sweet. There we go. Alright, there's a special attack. Okay, the crystals, cool. So what that means is that we're out of timing. If you see a special attack from his hands, you want to start in the middle, run in, attack the hand, and then run back here and attack the hand again. I'm explaining that poorly, so because you want to be running over to the middle here. So I'm using these tiles as guides to force his head to turn, because you can't attack when you're in the middle. Does that make sense? So we've now set up the 4-on-1 cycle. I can now explain it more frequently. Okay, this is the flow you want to be looking at. You don't need to be stepping out from the wall like I have been, because that was just to avoid the crystals falling on my head. You just want to be running to this tile, the far middle tile, then running back and attacking on your way to the barrier tile. Then you want to stand over here and attack again to avoid flame wall. I know he doesn't have flame wall on this phase, but it is good practice. Okay, I'll explain it better on the next phase. It's just keeping the momentum going while also making sure I do it right is very difficult. That's why I do have a separate Olm solo head guide to further explain these details, which I do recommend you check out, and I'll even put in the description so you can get a better understanding of how Olm works. You just want to start off hitting this hand, Olm turns his head, wait for Olm to turn his head, and start going again. And there you go, you're back in 3-0. 3-0 of Mage is very simple to do. With the Shadow, it's a lot harder. It's a completely different method to mitigate the amount of damage he does. But as long as you are attacking and constantly moving between these tiles as he is damaging or attacking, or looking to attack, sorry, you should be fine. As for the melee phase, the melee hand, we will go again, and you want to be starting from the far tile away from the hand, and you want to be running in to the barrier tile, that we're going to call it, the tile that forces to turn his head at the hand, but you want to attack his hand on the way to be able to get that extra damage in, and also to force his hand to turn a lot sooner. We just dumped an Eldermaw spec there because I think that was super necessary, which did cause Olm to look to the middle. If he looks to the middle, you can just run to the far side and he will look over there instead of attacking you, because when you're in those barrier outside tiles, he can't damage you when he's looking in the middle. If you have to take a hit from Olm, it's no big deal. Like, it's just like remaining humble and keeping yourself composed. That's the big thing here. Once you get this rhythm down, you'll be fucking sweet. If you fuck it up, you can just reset by going to one of the tiles that he's not looking at and resetting. Now, melee phase, we're going to go to this outside tile here. As soon as he turns in, you want to be running in, attacking, and then running to this tile. Like, you want to not be standing still, basically. You don't want to be standing still unless you are attacking the hand. That's the golden rule. That's the rule I have, at least, anyway. If you're not attacking, you should not be standing still. As soon as you run to this outside tile, you want to bounce and go in. Currently, we're in 4 and 2. That's fine. I'm happy to accept that while I show you guys how the rhythm of 4 and 1 works. The difference is that with 4 and 2, he's just attacking me twice. What I'm doing doesn't change. I'm just taking an extra hit of damage to prove a point. That's no big deal for me. If you want to fix a 4 and 2, it's very simple. I can show you how to do that. I'm not going to overload just to give you guys some more leeway here. If you're getting hit twice and you're doing the method properly, you just do a 3 and 1, which means coming out here and attacking once. You don't go to the outer wall. Okay, and now we're in 4 and 1. If you want to change your cycle up, that's all you have to do. You just have to skip the 3rd attack and just do 1 attack, 2 attack, then the 4th attack. Skip the 3rd attack and that will push his cycle away by 1. Same rule as if he activates a special with his hand. So he does the portals, lightning, or the crystals. Portals is a bit tricky because it forces you to fuck off and get out of sync a lot of the time. But if it's lightning or if it's crystals, you can do a 3 and 1 to get yourself back in cycle. I didn't overload, nor do I have specs, so we will come back to that in a minute. I was going to show you a method to automatically set the melee phase, but yeah, that's not happening now. So we're just going to start with the mage side of things instead. Summon the mage thrall, step over here. Now he's summoned his lightning, so we're just going to get out of the way of that real quick. And keep doing the mage phase until we have spec again. Unfortunately, doing specs late at the start and missing 2 Elder Maws at the fucking start as well makes it difficult to kind of manage that. And not overloading, like I forgot I didn't overload because I was trying to show you guys the method with less damage to kind of make it last longer. But that's the sort of flow you want to keep when doing 4 and 1. Even though I was doing 4 and 2, taking extra damage, that's not a problem because I'm still doing the 4 attacks every cycle and keeping that consistent ratio of damage. The damage I'm taking is different, but you can correct that with a simple 3 and 1, which is explained in my solo Olm guide much further. And I will re-release another independent solo Olm guide if you guys wish for more detail and a better explanation of how the fight works. But for the most part, you want to just kind of land some fucking damage on this melee hand when you can, because for the final phase, you want to make sure that you are not killing one hand without killing the other. They need to be killed essentially within the same time frame. Otherwise, the hand heals and comes back to life, and it's just not a fun time. So be careful with my damage here. That's more than enough damage. That leaves the hand on 58. That's perfect. Now let's summon a melee throw. We're going to come out to the middle here, and as soon as we get to the middle, we want to run straight back in. You essentially want to be bouncing off of that tile, the far middle tile. You don't want to be standing still on it at all. Olm's going to attack. Let's see how many times he attacks. He does the portals. Alright, so we'll do portals, and then we'll reset and go again. Okay, there's no point fucking around with portals. Let's just go to the middle tile. As soon as we get to the middle tile, bounce off it. No standing around, just straight in and attack. You don't want to be standing. You don't want to be dancing with this guy. You just want to fucking straight up hit it. See what happens twice. Okay, so we've been attacked twice, but no hand special is activated, which means we just have to do a 3 and 1 to correct that mistake. Now with the poison, it is a bit daunting, but if you want my advice, there is a way to like negate all damage with poison walking. But as long as you just like are chill, it's not a big deal. Okay, just wait for the poison to wear off. Or run away and reset, but now that we've got no more poison to deal with, we will do a 3 and 1 attack like that, and now we're set. But we've also killed the hand in time because it's just that much damage you're putting out. It's like, it's all about consistently hitting the fucking hand. That's really it. Now please don't fuck me saying stuff. You can always let the hand heal and go again to keep practicing, if you wanted to. Thank you, Mr. Thrall, for that. Appreciate it. And then you got the head phase. Oh! Where you die, because I'm retarded. So, number one thing when you die is remember that Jagex is retarded and likes to make it so you can pick up your prayer enhancers and your super restores before your aids, which give you health. That's fine. Dying in Olm is not a problem. You just go back in, reset. Be thankful that you didn't wipe the raid because that's a retarded mechanic from TOA. And keep going. Thank you for storming me with damage like that, Olm. Thank you very much. Now, all you want to do is run between the tiles and attack him between tiles, okay? Can you just fuck off for like 30 seconds? Holy shit, he does just fucking turn it up to 11 here. Because the falling crystals will damage you, and they'll follow you around, hence why I died. So, you just want to run between the outer tiles and attack him and move as he turns his head. Now you can move to a point and attack to a point where he won't damage you at all, but that will cost you time because you will be doing less damage. You can be more aggressive and attack, move, attack, move, and so on. And you can get like 2 extra hits in per rotation. And that, I mean, I think that's a feasible way to do this. Attack every 4 game ticks. But you will take more damage. So if you're low on brews, do take your time. Do go a bit slower and just measure yourself. If we didn't die, we would have been easily at 52, 53,000 points, but that's fine. Because we weren't getting a purple anyway, given my track record of getting absolutely fucked in this game. We're just here to learn the raid, get it done, good luck, and the result is... fuck! Absolutely expected. Right, I mean, I'll take a dark fucking relic. That's free. That's fucking money, baby. That's agility XP right there. Give me that shit. Boom, boom. 14k agility XP. Yes, sir. Look at that. Hell yeah. 82% of the way to 96. Worth it. Absolutely best in slot XP per hour for agility. That is how you do the full raid of Chambers of Xeric. Yes, that was a deaf and Olm. No, I don't give a shit. Make sure you grab your stuff out of this chest at the end. Otherwise, you'll be like, where's my shit? Not that difficult. Raid is very simple. Just take your time, downgrade the gear to what matches you. If you die, it's okay. All you do is lose points and reset the raid. But dying and learning is beneficial because in the next raid, you should hopefully die less and achieve more points. Don't be discouraged if you die. Try to learn with friends or learn alongside friends at least because it will benefit you a lot more in the future. My name is King Condor and I approve this message. Have a good night. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy. It's huge.